Okay, Jeremy here, Jeeps Unlimited, 303-666-9020, jeepsunlimited.net. This is a discounted frame. It is not one of my grade A's by no means, but to some of the guys out there who are doing projects and don't want to, spend the extra money, just want something that puts them back on the road, this will do it. So it's still a solid frame. It's just not as clean as we like to see them. So without further ado, let me give you the specs. 87 and 95, it will work on all those years, and then it will work on 4.0 or 4.2, so the 6 cylinders. If you're putting some other kind of motor in it, it doesn't matter, and if you want to use it with a 4-cylinder, you can, but those mounts, those two right there, which are the motor mounts, need to go back a few inches to compensate for the shortness of your block. Okay, so first thing, as you can see right there, that's got a nice little ding on it. Probably somebody hit something with the front of it. Pretty common to see on those front bars. The frame itself isn't tweaked. I don't want to say it's, I mean, it came off a running and driving Jeep, and it drove straight and everything, but that's a fairly decent ting there, and it definitely could be pulled in a little bit there. So you could pull it back out, and if there is any kind of bow in that frame, it should push it right back out, but I don't want to mislead you or anything like that. It is going to be, like I said, cut in half on the price. All the rails are still solid. To clean this frame up, if you were to blast it or something, you'd get pretty far with it. You could wire it down and go that route as well. It's got a shock tower here where it looks like the shock kind of twisted on it and kind of made that. So the most of the body mount holes where it goes up to your tub are in good shape. I mean, they're pretty round. They're not too bad, but definitely some that one's not too bad. Yeah, it's like I said, it's not what I laugh because every time I say that, somebody calls and is like, oh, this is a freaking beautiful frame compared to what I have. So yes, it probably is compared to what a lot of people are dealing with. It is still solid and mountable and will get you down the road and whatnot. So, but I just don't want to mislead you in any way, shape, or form, because we've been doing this for a long time, a little less than 10 years, and I've been selling some really, really, really nice frames. So I have some really nice ones listed right now, actually. So, and most of my frames kind of come out of California. So this would be an example of something that came probably either Colorado, because we started using salt on the roads here a few years ago. That's why we don't buy most of our Jeeps here, or somewhere out, even further east of here. So the mount for the steering gearbox is a little dinged in there too, so definitely consider that stuff. Nothing to be super alarmed about. Like I said, everything mounted up and removed fine from it, but something you should know about it. Let me flip it over here and give you the bird's eye view from the underside of it. They're not super heavy, as you can see. I can do that with one hand. So nothing cancer-wise that's really eaten through the frame. There's definitely a little bit of scaling where the mounts were on it, but still all solid through there. Even the under tank where the gas tank goes, that's solid. The back half of the frame is nice and solid. Where your leaf spring bushings go aren't too bad. That's where your gas tank, your fuel filter skid there, that unbolts. That's normally something we pull before we ship them, but that will be included in it. And then you have these guys. So this is somebody not knowing how to get what that issue is right there. So again, frame is going to be discounted. This is going to take a little bit of effort fixing. That probably should be plated, just because they probably made a weak spot there, although that is where the belly pan goes. So there is kind of a cross member that would hold everything together. But you're going to have to address that bolt and then the one on the center there as well, because both of those were broke off into the frame and whatnot. So there's a couple, I'm not going to get into the way you repair those. There is a couple ways to repair that. You could simply take that out completely, replate these areas with some steel, 3/16 or something, and then go to town. You'd be perfectly fine. Matter of fact, that's what they do to support on Cherokees, because they're unibodies. So it's fairly common practice. You see a lot of Jeep guys do it. Up through the front of it's not too bad at all. There's that nick there on the front of that tube. Otherwise, it's not, like I said, it's not terrible. So it's about double the cost for a perfect frame, and it may be worth it. Just depends on what you're working with. This would be one that if you were interested, and I have it, and let's say we don't sell it right away, I probably will, because we don't usually discount frames too much. But nonetheless, we might be interested in cutting something on this frame if you need something off of it. So, but it just depends. Easter Sunday 2018, if it's been 6 months and I still have this frame and I haven't sold it yet, then I'd be interested in maybe doing something like that for you. Otherwise, 303-666-9020, jeepsunlimited.net. I appreciate you taking the time watching this. And don't by any means think this is the only frame we have or the quality frames we have, because it is by no means not. It is not normally something we even list like this, but since it's fairly solid throughout and there's only a couple places that need attention, it's still worth us listing, because it will still save you a ton of money if you're just looking something to get you by. So, okay, thanks a lot, and hope you had a good Easter.